When I was younger, I thought my dad was the coolest mother in the whole world, and the older I've gotten, the more like these things come back to me like a raven vision, where I'm like, oh, yeah, he's a loser. That what the The main instance that comes to mind is whenever I spent the weekend with my dad. I came back home, mind you, I was like 5 years old, and my mom had picked me up and was like, hey sis, what do you want to eat for dinner? I was like, can we go to McDonald's and can I get a 20-piece McNugget and a large fry? And she's like, what the like, yeah, sissy, are you really hungry? Are you gonna eat it all? And I was like, yeah, no problem. So she buys it for me and I eat the whole thing under 10 minutes. So as I'm sitting there enjoying my nuggets, I see my mom getting really irritated, but like, I don't know what she's mad about. And she's like, sissy, did you eat this weekend? And I was like, yeah, me and dad shared. I will never forget the look on her face. She goes, you and dad shared? What does that mean? What did you guys share? So flashback to me being in the store with my dad. We did not have a lot of money to eat. I think it was like $5 or something for the whole weekend. This is the whole weekend. This is Friday night that this happens. So he's like, okay, sissy, go pick something out. And all that I could see that I really wanted wasn't anything to eat. It was one of those M14 magazines where you could get like posters of Hannah Montana or the Jonas Brothers or Jesse McCartney, something like that. And I was like, Dad, please, can we get this? Can we get this, Dad? He was like, buddy, if we get that, we're not going to have money for food. And I'm poor. I don't give a I want to see the Jonas Brothers. So I was like, that's okay, Dad. We can eat candy. And he was like, okay, if we eat candy, we're gonna have to share. So my dad got a king-size Reese's, and I ate 2, and then he ate 2, and that was my dinner. And that was my dinner for the night, and then all that I'd eaten for the whole weekend. Oh my God, my mom laid into my dad. And again, now that I'm older, I'm like, who the could do that? Who the can do that? Like, literally not feed your fucking... Number one, why did you accept me coming over if you had $5 to feed us both for the weekend? Ain't got no car or nothing. Yeah, my dad was a loser.
I'm not gonna lie to you, listening to this as a father of a girl, this one hurt, because I couldn't imagine my daughter coming online saying something like this about me. The thing that really bothers me about this video, I'm pretty sure she's never sat down and talked to him about what was going on in that moment, what was happening at that time in his life, that he only had $5 in his pocket to feed you. Because I'm thinking there probably would have been a reason behind that. See, the thing is, it is hard to judge somebody unless you are in their shoes. None of us know what that man was going through. He could have lost his job and he was really doing everything he can to find a new one, but it just didn't happen yet. For all we know, it could have been the fact that they were taking child support, so he barely had any money to live on. We know this happens a lot, and I don't know if her mother was his ex-wife, but if that's the case, it could have been alimony too. We have no idea what was going on in that man's life at that time. But one thing I can be sure of based on this story is that he loved his daughter. He loved that little girl. For him to be in that situation and still take his daughter with him, knowing that he barely has any food, knowing that he barely has any money, he loves his daughter. A lot of people won't do that. There are a lot of kids out there who think their father never loved them, but the father was just in a bad situation and he didn't want to drag their kids into it, so he didn't come around. I am not sitting here giving those men an excuse. I'm just saying this is what it looks like when they do come around. To me, it just seems with men, they're gonna lose either way. If he was going through something and he didn't show up, he would be a deadbeat. He was going through something and he did show up, now he's a loser. So either way, he was gonna lose. I understand feeding your kid 2 Reese cups for the weekend isn't good, but guess who else had 2 Reese cups? Him. He had the same thing you had. So it's not like he was there eating steak while you were eating Reese cups. Neither one of you had anything to eat. And the only reason you didn't have anything else, because with $5, I'm thinking this girl's maybe 20. So about 20 years ago, you could have got some ramen noodles, a pack of hot dogs, a loaf of bread. You guys could have ate the whole weekend. But you wanted some magazine or a picture or whatever the hell that was you was talking about. If I'm gonna knock him for anything, I'm gonna knock him for that, because as the adult in the room, he was supposed to tell her no and get the things that they needed so they can get through the weekend. All I'm saying is it's not like he took his last $5 and spent it on a lotto ticket or a pack of cigarettes. He spent it on something that you wanted, because like I said before, he loved you and he wanted you to be happy. It wasn't smart, but that's what it was. And I also want to say the thing that I learned as an adult is that you can always tell how somebody feels about you based on how they respond when things in their life isn't good. Because when things are good, most people are going to be great. Most people will be nice to be around. Most people will show up for you. But when things are bad, is this person still going to be there? Is this person still going to show up for you? And that's what I think is happening here. That man showed you when he was at his worst, he never forgot about about his daughter. He still came and got his daughter. And that's all I want this young lady to understand. And I also want to say there's not a lot of resources out there for single fathers. Well, let me not say there's not a lot of them out there, but they're not well-known resources. So when single fathers are going through it with their kids, they just kind of go through it. And another thing I noticed about this story, if the mother knew the father was in that situation, she could have offered to give him a couple dollars or something to take care of their child. Baby mothers do it to baby fathers all the time. I need some money for our kid. They always throwing that out there. So I don't think it'll be a big deal for her mother to help the father in that situation. It would have been nice of the mother to say, let me send a couple dollars with you if you're going over there because I understand your father is in a bad situation. That's all I'm saying. That could have happened too. I am not sitting here telling you should feel any type of way about your father. That is your father. That's your situation. I'm just telling you what I see is a father who loved his child. That's what I see, because I know for a fact most people in that situation would have never came and picked you up. They would have just left you alone. And that was a question that you asked in the video. You said, what kind of father would even pick their daughter up if they were in that situation? One who loves their daughter. That's what I take from it. A father who loves his daughter. If you think he did it for any other reason, I don't know what to tell you. So this was a little sad to me because I'm pretty sure if that man is alive and he's able to watch that video, that is going to hit him right in the chest. Knowing that you tried or you were trying and that's the response you got from your daughter, that has to hurt. Again, I do not know the whole situation. I'm just going off this video. This to me sucks because even though I understand that was a rough situation, there is no reason to come online and talk about your father like that. The father who tried to show up for you even when he was in a really bad place in his life. And I see women all the time sleeping in the car with their kids, getting evicted, going from house to house, and I don't really hear nobody calling them losers, but hey, I guess it is what it is. And I also want to say the father could have done better. He could have went out there and cut some grass, clean a house, whatever he had to do to get some extra money so his daughter doesn't have to eat Reese cups. So I'm not going to let him off the hook for that, but that's not the point I'm making in this video. The point I'm making in this video that he loved his daughter. And that to me means he deserves a little more respect than you coming online telling the world that he was a loser. But that's just my opinion though.
I'm going through a divorce and one of the first things I did was get Eiffel Towered.
Eiffel Towered? What is that? Let me do some research.
You aren't mistaken. So the Eiffel Tower is 3 people. One person standing in the front, one person on all fours in the middle, and the one person behind the person on all fours, while the 2 people standing up are high-fiving.
Hey, yo, what the f?
Was married from 18 years old until 30. That's a lot of time to be Susie Homemaker and miss out on all sorts of early 20s shenanigans. Now that I'm a free single woman, I am eating it up, especially while I still look like this. We are at the club being absolute menaces, and I find 2 guys that I want to bring home with me with my girlfriend. And did I know I was going to be visiting Paris? No. But we went back to my place. We are all playing poker, and one thing led to another, and I really enjoyed it. Like, I have missed out on so much.
So let me get this right. After a marriage, instead of going out trying to heal and get better so you can figure out who you are and become the woman that you want to be, you decided to go out and have a threesome. My bad, that wasn't a threesome. You decided to let 2 strangers run a train on you, and that made you feel better because you felt like you were catching up for all the time you missed in your 20s. So basically in your head, instead of, building a family and building a foundation with your husband in your 20s, you wish you were out there letting strangers run trains on you the whole time. And most likely this is because the girls that you hang with were having trains ran on them. Got it. Well, let me just say this. Those 2 strangers were very lucky to meet you that night. They really were, because they had a great time tossing you around like a Nerf football. But to me, the guy who was the luckiest guy of them all was the husband you just divorced, because he was married to a 304 this whole time and didn't know it. So wherever you are, my guy, I know that divorce probably hurt you, but just know that was the best thing that ever could have happened to you.
Okay, guys, I have a question for you. If a female comes up to you at the grocery store and talks to you because she finds you attractive, do you think that's weird or are you flattered?
Now, I can't speak for all men, but I can speak for most men when I say this. It all depends on one thing. Are you gonna pay for our groceries? If you pay for the groceries, then it's all good. But if you ain't trying to pay for our groceries, you can just keep it moving because we don't want nothing to do with that.
I can always tell what type of guy a man is by the way his girlfriend act. Yeah, the way the girlfriend act is gonna give it away every time. For example, when a woman acts like a baby girl or a princess or just like a baby, specifically around her man, then 9 times out of 10 chances her man treats her right. Her inner child is safe. Her inner child is thriving. She is thriving in her femininity 100%. And the way her man treats her reflects that. Like, her world would be literally unicorns and rainbows because she's being treated like a princess. Literally, like, just laughing all the time, joyful, playful, everything. But when a woman is just more serious and more calm, 9 times out of 10 chances she's just dealing with a more decent man. And when I say decent, I mean like one of those men that just give out the bare minimum and she's just kind of like okay with that. Like, you know, like he's not really giving her the princess treatment, but he's giving her enough to like have her. Hence is why she's not very playful and stuff, because she probably don't find funny. Now, when a woman is overly emotional and mean, 9 times out of 10 chances her man ain't. I'm just gonna keep it. She's overly emotional because he's constantly putting her through BS. So every little thing he does triggers her because she's constantly putting up with stuff. I'm telling y'all, I have studied it. I have been in the situations, all 3, and I know for a fact. I'm not lying.
Women love coming online and giving you information like it's real based on what they've been through. She just said all of that, and at the end of the video said, I'm telling you, this is the absolute truth. I've been in all 3 situations. Really? So the whole world revolves around your 3 situations. Lady, if you don't get off my timeline with this garbage. Now let me tell you what this lady is really saying. When the girl is acting like a princess, a queen, or whatever they want to call it, the guy has a lot of money and he's buying her whatever she wants. That is what she's saying. When you're dealing with a man with a lot of money, he'll buy you everything you want. And even though he's cheating, messing with other girls, he's never home, they don't care because they're getting everything they want. That's what she's talking about. The second guy, who she said is just decent and gives her the bare minimum, is actually the good guy. Is actually the guy who would treat her good and be a good guy for her, but they don't appreciate that, and they say stuff like it's the bare minimum because they all want the first guy. You know, the guy with a lot of money who's gonna cheat on them. And the last girl, who's always mad and got an attitude, she's like that because she believes she's settled. It doesn't matter if the guy is good, bad, or whatever. She just believes she can do better, so she's angry with this guy because he's the only option that she has. Doesn't matter who this guy is. That's what it is. Now, of course, this isn't a scientific breakdown. This is just me just spitballing, just going off the cuff. I'm not gonna sit there and tell you this is a fact like the lady in the video, but that's what I'm guessing it is. So you can miss me with that silly stuff you're talking about. Please like the video and leave a comment. I love listening to what you guys have to say. And don't forget to hit that hype button because it really helps me out with the algorithm, and I really do appreciate it. Thanks for watching. See you next time.